Potatoes are one of the most satisfying vegetables you can grow. And it's not just the growing part that's so satisfying. Harvest time is what makes the potato really special, when those delicious tubers are finally unearthed like buried nuggets of gold. Garden-grown potatoes are something else, I promise you. So if you've never tried growing them before, make this the year you do. Here then is our planting to harvest guide to potatoes. Before you plant, you need to decide what to grow. There are two main types of potato, main crops and earlies. Main crop varieties are usually bulkier and give a bigger harvest, and many can be stored for winter use. Main crops are typically harvested in late summer or autumn. Early varieties are ready from early to mid-summer and are further divided into first earlies and second earlies. First early varieties are first to crop, while second earlies follow on a few weeks later. Early potatoes tend to be smaller than main crop types, but they have the best flavour and often have a smoother, waxier texture that makes them perfect in salads. They're also sublime when served steaming hot, finished with a drizzle of olive oil and a scattering of herbs. Check variety descriptions for potatoes suited to different uses, whether baked, boiled, sautéed or cut up into wedges, or even a combination of these. Some varieties offer good resistance to common diseases, including blight, which can ruin a crop in warm, wet summers. Or grow first earlies, which are usually harvested before the main blight risk. To plant a crop of potatoes, you'll need to get hold of some seed or sprouting potatoes, also sold as simply tubers. Large seed potatoes can be cut into smaller pieces to make them go further. Make sure each piece has at least 2 eyes and allow the cut to air dry for a day before planting. In regions where spring's arrival is a little slower, it's worth sprouting or chitting your seed potatoes. Do this up to 6 weeks ahead of planting to give your crop a head start. Lay them out in a single layer so the ends with most eyes, that's the dimples where the shoots will sprout from, face up. Place them into trays or old egg cartons which hold the potatoes steady. Keep them in a cool, bright place to sprout thick, sturdy shoots. Potatoes love rich, moist soil that's been gradually improved with organic matter such as well-rotted compost or manure. Avoid poorly draining soil to prevent tubers from rotting. A sunny spot on the plot will encourage the strong growth you're after. Plant first earlies as soon as it's begun to warm up in early spring. Second earlies are planted a few weeks later, while main crops follow on a couple of weeks later still, in mid-spring. You can use our garden planner to check the best times to plant in your area based on data from your local weather station. The planner is also a great resource for browsing variety descriptions and, of course, to lay out potatoes on your plan, so you'll know exactly how many seed potatoes you'll need to fill the area you have. Plant seed potatoes into dug trenches or individually as we're going to do here. Space them out so they are 1 foot or 30 centimetres apart along the row. Additional rows of early varieties should be spaced at least 18 inches or 45 centimetres apart, while main crops need a minimum of 30 inches or 75 centimetres left between rows. Dig a hole for each potato and plant so it's around 6 inches or 15 centimetres deep. Shoots should poke above ground within about 2 to 3 weeks. They'll tolerate very light frosts, but are best covered over with row cover or fleece if something colder is forecast. Once they reach 6 inches or 15 centimetres tall, begin hilling or earthing up your potatoes. Hilling mounds up the soil along the row to encourage more tubers to grow and to reduce the risk of light exposure, which turns them green. Use a hoe to draw up the surrounding soil around the shoots, leaving just the very tops exposed. Hill in stages like this each time the foliage reaches a similar height above soil level, and continue till the mounds are either 1 foot tall or the foliage above has closed over. Remove weeds early on, but fast-growing potatoes soon crowd out any competition. Potatoes need ample moisture for all that growth though. Water thoroughly in dry weather so tubers grow to their full potential, free of any cracks or hollows. You can harvest tubers small as new potatoes as soon as the plants begin to flower a couple of months after planting. Continue harvesting early varieties in stages from this point on, leaving the remaining plants to grow on until needed. This staggered approach to harvest makes it easier to enjoy potatoes at their freshest and tastiest.
Main crop potatoes are usually harvested towards the end of summer or autumn once the foliage has died back. Leave the tubers underground for a further 2 weeks, then, on a dry day, lift them up with a fork, taking care not to accidentally pierce any of the tubers. Brush off excess soil, let the potatoes air dry for a few hours, then store out of the light in a cool but frost-free place.
You can't beat a perfect potato. Check out our other potato videos too, including more on deciding what to grow and how to grow potatoes in containers. You'll find links to them in the video description below. And if you have a clever potato growing technique of your own, or any advice relating to potatoes, please be sure to drop us a comment. Oh, and for more great growing advice, make sure you're subscribed too. I'll catch you next time.